Hey guys, so today is the second day of our Advent and I've come to the conclusion I need to record videos a day in advance because I planned to do it this morning and Tanzania did what it does and Feathersdale did what it did and I've been busy all day, so this is no good posting late at night for the second day. But either way, I'll get on top of that tomorrow. Second day of Advent, so behind our Advent calendar door, as we've been calling it, is a new child, and I've chosen another child at random. It's much easier for me if I just open the file at random and do it that way, because it's hard to say who will get a sponsor over the next child. And the child I've chosen is Stephen, and Stephen is 4 years old as well. A lot of the children that I'm trying to get sponsors for at Christmas are the younger ones at the nursery. What we call our nursery, it's not officially ours, it's the church's, but we support it, so we've kept it going. Now, for Stephen, his parents abandoned him when he was very small and left him with his grandmother. Now, what often happens here, and it's very common and it's very sad, but HIV often plays a role in this, I find. What will happen is maybe the husband or the wife will cheat and contract the virus and then pass it on. And when they discover they've got the virus, one of them runs away and the other one follows suit. And this is most of the time when we do the research and digging, this is what we find is happening. But there can be other things. People struggle. It's always, I can say, nearly always the men run away first, sadly. And in this instance, we're not sure which way around it was. The grandmother didn't want to talk about it too much. But you just can't be sure as well. Everyone is being brought up in difficult surroundings and sometimes with what you would call a traumatic childhood, having the labour, etc. So we just don't know what's gone on with those parents and we don't know why they've left. And I say that because when I first came here, I often would pass a judgment on people who ran away and abandoned their children, say what sort of parents are they? Then when I finally met them, maybe a year and a half later, a year later, they return and you hear that they had horrendous stories themselves and they just couldn't cope. So mental health can play a role here and there's no one to deal with mental health here. You just get on with it, you know. So Stephen is living with his grandmother. Very difficult living situation because when his parents abandoned him, he was the last born of 5 other children. So they were abandoned also and left with the grandmother. So the grandmother is a widow, but her sister is staying with them, so the children's great auntie, and they only have how many rooms is it? 3 rooms that they're staying in between them, and it's a mud and stick house. It's not like a normal house. So they have 3 rooms where 9 people are staying in total. None of them have mattresses, so the children are sleeping on the floor. Stephen, in this instance, from those children, is sleeping on the floor. And Stephen is about to leave nursery, so he wants to go into primary school. Primary school, I've explained, it's not 100% free as it's supposed to be. You have to pay for many things, meal contributions, etc. And when the only thing the grandmother can afford to feed them is ugali, which is flour and water, and sometimes beans and wild greens, etc., then paying for food for school is not going to happen. So he will never get access to education unless something happens, someone steps in. And when you don't get access to education, as I always say, because I see it all the time, this is when the kids end up in labour, and sometimes as well from that when they end up running away, like our street boys. So Stephen needs a little support, and very little can give him a decent start in life. It's very, very little. I recall living in the West, my normal life, and I would spend £2.60 in the blink of an eye without thinking about it. I might call in the shop and buy a bag of crisps and a soft drink and a bar of chocolate, and you're getting close, if not over that, in some shops. And that a week, those small things, to share those with Stephen can actually provide him with full-time medical care, access to education, which he probably will otherwise go without, and also amenities, so he gets to sleep on a mattress and has a solar light and things like this so he can learn on the evenings. So this is Stephen, and this is our second Advent child. Thank you to everyone who came forward for Bright and to the 3 sponsors who have shared their support with children here in the village, Bright being one of them, and I haven't got the names of the other 2, sorry, Mary's assigned them, but you know who you are, so thank you. Right, I best get off and record tomorrow's video so I can post it early tomorrow morning, so much love guys, Merry Christmas.